What's up guys, Robbie here, and these are my crypto hot takes of 2024 so far. So some background, my name is Robbie Greenfield. I'm founder of Emoji Protocol, an asset management protocol that structures new digital assets. And I've been in crypto since 2011. I have worked at Goldman Sachs, Amazon, and was formerly the head of Impact at Consensus. And I've been a software engineer for over a decade now. So I know a little bit about crypto, and I've been mostly silent about the BS in this industry. So let's get into it. Here are 6 hot takes that I completely stand on. So the first is that most people do not know a damn thing about tokenomics. Too often I see both founders in crypto and also VCs understand tokenomics as something like fully diluted valuation or initial market cap or something in between. And they're completely wrong. It's not even the token distribution chart. Tokenomics is the design of economic systems leveraging game theory and incentive structures to induce certain habits, to induce certain behaviors, and to hopefully, ideally, create a sustainable microeconomy, be it in that protocol or that network, using those structures. Now, a part of this is the token distribution chart, or where the tokens are initially distributed to bootstrap that economy. But fully diluted valuation and initial market cap are complete BS, and they actually have no direct statistical correlation to long-term market capitalization performance. So if you're an investor and you're serious about doubling or tripling or 500xing your investment, you won't just focus on the short term, and you won't focus on metrics like FDV or IMC. And if you're a founder, you will actually think very deeply about the protocol or network market fit of your project, and then scale backwards to how you can leverage incentive mechanisms to kick off flywheels across those different stakeholders that found value in what you're doing. Otherwise, it's all BS. I'm sorry guys, I have to call it out. 90% of the industry does not know what they're talking about when it comes to tokenomics. Number 2, TVL is mostly manufactured by B2B partnerships, usually venture capital funds. So I know that some of you all are like, hey, I just made this hot investment. They have $1 billion in total value locked, or assets under management. And then others of you are thinking, well, man, they must have hundreds of thousands of users. This is crazy. Well, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's not how it happens. I've come to realize that TVL is completely manufactured in most cases. Even when you look at major and amazing protocols that are adopted by many users like Uniswap, over 90% of their transaction volume is attributable to a small percentage of users, mainly BTC wells, be it funds, market makers, or otherwise, that actually have the funding to facilitate very large transactions. In fact, overall DeFi, or just dApp adoption in general, is relatively low. In fact, over 95% of all token holders, that is people that hold cryptocurrencies, don't use dApps at all. And so it's very important to distinguish the difference between product or protocol market fit and TVL. In fact, I would say that TVL is a failing metric in terms of confusing investors as to what is creating traction or not. And even more so, it confuses retail users as to what is safe to use or not. Because more than times than not, we have seen major projects completely crumble, especially in the last 2 years. So to repeat, TVL is mostly manufactured by B2B partnerships, particularly the investors of those projects in and of themselves. So number 3, the SEC is completely politicized in the way that they enforce regulations in crypto. In fact, they're doing it so much that it's making America as a market completely irrelevant in the context of the broader Web3 community. And of course, we all know this. We all know the irony of Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, actually being a professor that was an advocate of crypto and specifically thought that ETH was not a security, but yet a digital commodity, given its utility in fostering the overall Ethereum ecosystem and network. But of course, many things have changed, and we now see a continued enforcement by regulation, or regulation by enforcement by the SEC, making effectively most protocols and networks domicile themselves outside of the United States. Now, how does this contribute toward the US becoming increasingly irrelevant in Web3? Well, with more networks and protocols domiciling themselves outside of the United States and effectively avoiding or outright geo-restricting US users altogether, it makes us irrelevant. It in fact means that all of the innovation, the changes, and the regulatory and compliance networks that are being created to foster new ecosystems for digital assets are going to exist outside the US and thus transfer those economic opportunities of the future, of which effectively the future of finance is teetering on in those regions. In particular, we see this in Singapore and Dubai, I think less so in London, and of course the EU has been leading with MiCA's regulations as well. And so continued regulation by enforcement is only going to hurt the US in the long run, and in the context of an economy that is constantly de-dollarizing, especially across the global south, this is not particularly helpful. And so I would hope that certain political parties are put aside to put the United States first in the many ways that their citizens and their businesses are going to require as we go into increasingly economically tough times. Number 4. So meme coins are indicative of a crypto bull run, but also a macroeconomic recession. So one interesting fact about gambling is that gambling increases when you start to see recession. It mainly means that people are struggling so much that they hope to gain 10x and risk everything given the few dollars that they actually have left. And we're starting to see this with meme coins. It is no wonder that meme coins was the first macroeconomic theme within crypto right after nearly a 2-year crypto recession after the collapse of Terra Luna and FTX. In fact, people are gambling as much as they can because oftentimes they can't make up the amount of money needing to live with the money that they're earning via their salary or other side hustles. But the sad thing is that meme coins are actually, I would say, more dilutive and more destructive than not. In order for anyone to win in the meme coin game, someone must lose. This is an economic fact, particularly given that most are pump and dump schemes. And again, I am not trying to be the old man at the young man's party. I'm just saying that meme coins, or at least a lot of them, can be destructive. Additionally, it's coming at a time where we're just reeling from a lot of different regulatory enforcement from the SEC. And if we want to see that crypto is legitimate, meme coins do not help within that argument. So you can be a VC, you can support meme coins, but please do not make it seem like it's the second coming of Christ, because it's not, and it makes you look stupid. I'm gonna be real with you, it makes you look stupid. So feel free to speculate, feel free to gamble, but call it as such, because meme coins are indicative of a crypto bull run, but a macroeconomic recession. People gamble when they have nothing to lose. Number 5, L2s are way overvalued. I have seen L2 term sheets valuing themselves or their FDVs or whatever you want to call it at $600 million or above. Now, guys, I understand the future of finance is broad and there will be many roads and buildings that are built within this new city that are used by the majority of the population and the majority of companies. However, to say that that will be many hundreds of L2s is ridiculous. There will be some level of centralization, just as we've seen with most DEXs or decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges, lending protocols, etc. L2s are not special, and many of them are just inflating their transaction volume, leveraging meme coins, which is a great way in the near term to show traction, but it's not a sustainable route if they want to support new use cases. I do applaud those chains that have found their niche in different industries to create natural growth. But of course, most L2s just aren't that. And the fact that VCs are pouring in literal billions of dollars is less indicative of their belief in these L2s and more indicative that the token utility associated with the network creates a very great arbitrage opportunity to literally mint money. Meaning that I'm going to invest in you, I'm going to get that token warrant at that sale price, and I'm going to make probably 10, 100, or 200x given that the capital needed to sustain a network and the prevalence of networks being listed on exchanges is rather high. But all y'all can't be building no L2. Some of y'all gotta build something else, okay? I'm just being straight. And last but not least, my hottest hot take of the hot boy/girl summer in 2024 is Trump is better for crypto than Biden. Guys, I am not someone who prides myself as a Democrat or a Republican. I think both suck, and I think it requires independent thought on a multitude of decisions that are good for the people and good for those who are being governed. And I really don't like either candidate, to be quite candid, not to get into politics too much. But I think both suck. And I think that the American people, as an American, have been in this situation for quite a while. At least the last 12 years. The last 3 election cycles, we have always felt that we were choosing between a demon and a baby killer. And sometimes we don't know which one is which. But in this particular case, I would have to say that Trump is better for crypto. Around the time that the Federal Reserve was introducing FedNow, which was going to be a CBDC for the United States, or a central bank digital currency for the US dollar and the Federal Reserve, the Republicans were actually first to say no. This is an overreach. This is going to completely eliminate transactional freedom. And in addition to the digital privacy that we effectively no longer have because of large tech companies, you will effectively be living in a complete totalitarian surveillance state. And Republicans were the first to actually stand up against this, and Trump was a part of that party, was a part of that argument. And I truly believe that Trump actually sides with this as the, part of his philosophy as a governor, as somebody who, wants to become president yet again for the United States. Now, this is not to say that the country will be better under Trump or under Biden for that matter. But if we were only looking at crypto and we are looking at each of the records of both Biden and of Trump, Biden's SEC has been regulating by enforcement, and Biden has been very clear that he is very against cryptocurrencies and the crypto industry in general. Just because he's accepting Bitcoin, for donations, or he's going to some, Bitcoin conference in DC doesn't mean anything, guys. I'm sorry. If you're distracted that easily, then you need to read the documents and you need to look at the receipts. Biden is not great for crypto. He's lying. I'm sorry. He's lying. He's just
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Lying. If this puts me in trouble, then it actually kind of shows you where America is going, because our free speech is eroding. I'm sorry. Trump is better for crypto. Is he better for America? I'm not so sure, but both suck as candidates, and I really cannot wait to vote for somebody that is not them too. I am not sorry for any of these points whatsoever. So don't DM me that you disagree, but actually still do DM me that you disagree and tell me why, and give me the receipts, give me the facts. Don't just tell me it based off of what you think, and we can continue the discussion in the comments or wherever this video happens to be. I appreciate your time, and I will be dropping more hot takes in the future. And until next time, peace.